Hey everybody, what's up? We are back in Planet Coaster in episode 2 of Fantasyland, and for this episode I want to do a bit of a different format. Instead of having one long talking part at the end, I thought I'd just chime in between different parts that I'm building and talk about stuff then, because I just want to try it out. So this is what we've built in the last episode, in the first one. The very beginning of the entrance plaza. The entrance plaza, of course, will be here. There's a bit of a back alley with the toilets, and then this will be a restaurant. And for this episode, I have planned to continue onwards this way. So we'll basically have a bit of a small corner building here, like not a real building of this size. It would be a smaller thing that will just jut out here to cap this off nicely to create a nice transition to the next proper building, which will be the corner building right here, which will then lead to the entrance. And that's what I want to build. I'm not sure if I managed to do all of that just yet, but that's at least the plan. Continuing over here to get the park entrance done. And then maybe next episode we'll continue here on the other side of the entrance plaza. I'm not sure, but for this episode, the plan is set. So, let's go. Alright, here we are, and you can see there's already some planning going on, and I will talk about that in a minute or so. But first, we have this building here now. As I said, it's a very small thing. It's actually a 2x2 footprint, which I realized with these station surrounds. I will probably replace these station surrounds with full walls, because as you can see, they are going into this other building here anyway. But we'll see about that. And then you can see from the design, this is way more fantasy-ish, right? These buildings are a bit dialed back in a sense. They're more generic medieval rather than fantasy, which is fine. Some buildings can be that way, just to create a bit of variety, right? But we need these kinds of over-the-top buildings as well. Well, not really over-the-top, but you know what I mean, right? Like these like more fantasy-focused, certainly, buildings. These are definitely necessary to sell the fantasy feel and not just like a medieval theme, because that's not what it's supposed to be. And yeah, so that's basically this, and there will be more buildings in this kind of more colorful fantasy style in the future. As for the plans for right now, as you can see, I planned out this. So this will be the final corner building that I already talked about. These are technically two buildings because the angle is not 90 degrees, rather obviously. We'll probably have like a corner turret over here, but you know, the final design remains to be seen, I guess. And then over here, we have the entrance. And for the entrance, I was thinking for quite a while how I wanted to do the entrance. I do really like Mike Sheets' entrance for Nagali Park, but I didn't want to just copy that for obvious reasons. And I do also like my old entrance from the old Saltwood Lake Park, the kind of stone archway thingy. But I didn't want to copy that either because, well, I've already done that, right? And doing the same thing twice is kind of boring and kind of cheap, quite frankly. So I kind of thought to maybe merge the two a little bit, because Mike Sheets' entrance obviously has this one big arch, while my entrance had these smaller stone arches. Like Mike Sheets' entrance had this large natural arch, let's say, right? While my entrance was obviously like a built building. So mixing the two, what I came up with is this. I will have a tower here, similar to that tower, but a little bigger. And then over here, this will basically be like a tall, half-timber building similar to these. And then we'd have like a bridge crossing a top, right? Like a building bridge, you know, like a floor bridging across this gap. And then creating the entrance archway in a sense. I think that's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat design, so that's what I'm going for. Alright, here we are. As you can tell, I have not yet built the park entrance because building this additional building and the park entrance was probably a bit much for a single video, so the park entrance will be subject of the next episode. You can, however, see that I have embiggened the footprints here and I have also widened the entrance, just because the previous one was just too small. It was just not scaled properly to the rest of the buildings and stuff like that. So I just basically scaled it up. But yeah, again, park entrance will be in the next episode. What I have built in this episode is this building though. Here you can see I went for this reddish, like with the style with the green roofs and red beams. In the beginning, this actually looked more Asian than anything else, which was not exactly intended. Asian styles are great, but, you know, this is not an Asian style, at least not supposed to be. But I think I managed in the end, and I think it looks sufficiently fantasy European, I guess. This will be a gift shop, and I think it will be a gift shop at least, probably. The other option would be that it's like an info stand with an information booth and ATMs and things, but I think I'll put that on the other side and have the gift shop in here, just because it looks neat. It looks like a gift shop in my opinion, so that's probably what I'm going for. Whoops. The building is not completely finished just yet. This wall and this wall are missing some details. I like the front wall here, but you know, these two walls are still missing features. And the lower wall of the ground floor is completely blank yet, basically, except for this one awning and this pillar here. But I left them blank because I don't know quite yet how I want to integrate that with the path features. So I decided to just leave it blank and do it later on when I actually have like paths in here and I know where to put benches and whatever I want to put down on the paths, I guess. And yeah, we have this hole here which needs to be filled up. I'll either do that as an extension of this building or I'll do that as a separate building. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see, basically. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. In the next episode, the first order of operations will be the entrance. And the second thing is the interiors of both the restaurant and the gift shop. So yeah, with that said, I guess that wraps up the video. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like my content. And see you in the next episode. Or in the next video, which will not be the next episode, but a Minecraft video. Anyway, see you next time. Goodbye.